Welcome into Hand Raise, guys, presented by Comer Heating and Air, Southern Air Conditioning and Heating. I'm Neal McCready. That's Chase Parham here on this Thursday evening, August the 22nd, with you for an hour and 15 minutes or so. Tonight be a shorter Hand Raise, guys, than usual. We'll save up the time and do a longer one next week when we have SEC football on the TV screens. This time next week, it'll be Missouri getting started. Who do they play? I don't remember. Arkansas plays somebody.
Somebody plays Eastern Illinois, maybe. And Arkansas plays Pine Bluff. I do know that one for sure.
Okay, so
that's correct.
Both of those teams play games that night, so we'll have those games on. Oklahoma gets started a week from tomorrow, and then of course Ole Miss and the rest of the SEC get started with their Week 1 games on week from Saturday. So 9 days away as we sit here this evening. 9 days and about an hour and a half until the Rebels and the Furman Paladins. I'm working on a not Oxford, an MPW digital extra show again this year. I'm talking to the voice of the Furman Paladins. He'll be on that show next week. We'll record that. I'm recording that tomorrow, so have that to you.
Is he going to pull a Jason Simpson and say, "By God, we're coming to win the game"?
I mean, I hope so, but I doubt it.
You think so? You think that's what he's going to say?
It doesn't seem to be that way.
Okay.
Doesn't seem to be.
Then why are you even showing up if you're not trying to win?
I'm sure they will try to win. I suspect Furman's goal is to
shock the world.
To play, shock the world. They got to shock the world.
Shock the world
in the YouTube sphere.
Yes.
Today, Furman. Let's see. Furman plays 12 games. They're 1AA, right? Basically,
FCS is what we call those these days. But
playoffs.
Yes.
They would play playoff games.
They're ranked 9th in the FCS.
Okay, so if they were to go all the way in FCS, they would play how many playoff games?
3 or 4. I don't know.
Okay, so
call it 4.
Let's call it 4.
Don't they do 16 teams?
I think that's right.
Okay.
So let's say Furman goes all the way. Their coach would have built the roster for 16 games.
He would have.
He would have built the roster for 16 games. He would have been forward thinking, building the roster for 16 games, prepared to shock the world. So he will be able to tell his team at the end of this game, this is the best team we'll play all year.
That is accurate.
And
that is 100%. Once they win that one, it's all cake. Moving on.
Now we'll go shock the world is what he'll say.
Furman is actually ranked 12th in the opening FCS.
Okay.
Top 25.
Doesn't change anything about what I just said. I mean, I appreciate the correction, but it
North Dakota State is not number 1. They're number 2.
Oh, who's number 1?
South Dakota State.
South Dakota State.
So the top 5 teams are all from South Dakota. They're all from the Dakotas and Montana. All 5 teams. The top-ranked Southern team is 9th. South doesn't do very well in FCS. It's not their jam. Whatever conference is the SEC of the FCS, not so much. South Dakota number 1, North Dakota State number 2, Montana 3, Montana State 4, South Dakota 5, Villanova 6, Idaho 7. I mean, I used to watch the Vandals play FBS football back in the day. Paul Petrino and his Vandals came to Oxford one time. Remember that? We covered Ole Miss, Idaho.
I vaguely do remember that, yes.
Yeah. Sacramento State 8, Chattanooga 9, and Southern Illinois 10. That's your top 10. Central Arkansas 11.
Oh,
the Bears.
The Purple Bears.
Yeah. What are you looking at?
Who Missouri plays? Murray State.
Oh,
Murray State.
Who plays? Somebody plays Eastern Illinois week 1, right?
Maybe it's Iowa. Iowa plays Eastern Illinois.
There we go.
No, Iowa plays Illinois State.
Oh, maybe that's what I had confused. I don't know.
Mississippi State plays Eastern Kentucky.
The Colonels. Where's our boy at now?
Our boy. Oh, he's the chancellor at Coastal Carolina.
Coastal? Oh, good for him.
I don't see Eastern Illinois. I mean, I'm sure they play someone, but I don't see them.
So maybe I was wrong. Oh, they play Illinois on an early game Friday night. I've just when I was going through you have the Big Ten schedule there in front of you too. Somewhere.
Oh, I do. Eastern Illinois, August 29th. There it is.
Yeah, so Thursday or Friday night.
Thursday night.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Fun times. I was looking to see, did Furman play an FBS team last year?
I have not yet done my research for the interview for tomorrow.
You better get on that.
Yeah, I'm actually running out of time. It is tomorrow morning.
Is it?
Yeah, going to talk to him. Going to talk to a Big Ten guy. We're going to do a little Big Ten talk on that show, and then Braden Gall and out of Nashville going to talk some SEC. One last big SEC preview before everybody gets rolling that night.
The South Carolina Gamecocks on September 9th of last season beat Furman 47-21. Furman had a 9-2 regular season. They lost that game, and then they lost their season finale to the Wofford Terriers, which I assume is a rivalry game for Furman. They're Wofford and Furman. They beat Chattanooga 26-7 in the second round of the playoffs because they had a bye. And then in the quarterfinal, they got eliminated by the Montana Grizzlies 35-28 in overtime.
Oh.
So
Pretty
they
good
made the FCS quarters and lost in overtime.
So this team was built for 16, but didn't quite get there.
Didn't quite get there.
By the way, we're brought to you each and every Thursday night by Comer Heating and Air, Southern Air Conditioning and Heating, different names, same great people, products, and services. If you live in Oxford, Batesville, Tupelo, or the surrounding area, call Comer 662-801-1777. If you live in Hernando, Memphis, or the surrounding areas, call Southern 662-429-4429. I'm coming to you from the Clark Ford Studios. Clark Ford is in Amory, Mississippi. 662-257-1900 is the number. Call it. Ask for Corey Clark. Tell Corey what Ford product you're looking for. He'll send you a quote within 15 minutes in business hours, right to the bottom line. No hassle, no haggle. You get your quote, and the rest is totally up to you. You can shop that quote around. You can do what I've done, what I recommend that you do, and that's hop into a Clark Ford today. Again, 662-257-1900. Guests can call in this evening. You guys can call in on the Campbell Clinic Hotline, from fractures and sports injuries to complex spine and limb conditions. The pediatric orthopedic physicians at Campbell Clinic in Oxford are the only specialized pediatric orthopedic team in North Mississippi, providing expert care for growing bodies. Visit CampbellClinicOxford.com to schedule an appointment or call 901-759-3111. If you're listening to this, it is the Friday Blue Sky Live. Chase, what's going on at Blue Sky?
If you're coming in on Friday, grab you a lunch special, $5.69, couple sides, bread, any size fountain drink. Might as well get the 44-ounce version of that. Also, any Sweet Daddy's locations in Mississippi, those throughout the state, including in Oxford, the ribs, pulled pork. Great for dinner, great for lunches, great for catering. Also, because you make it easy on you. You can call ahead, have it wrapped up, ready to go, wet or dry, and ready for you right there at the Oxford Exxon and all Blue Sky locations in Mississippi.
So next Thursday, not only will we have football, we'll have a day full of programming on MPW Digital. We'll have, obviously, we won't have the live stream, but we'll have a podcast for you that morning with Jeffrey. And then starting that afternoon, we'll bring you a Thursday full of programming each and every Thursday, pretty much the whole season. We'll have, I guess this will be season 5 of The Butcher versus
Is it really been
the Dance
5
Instructor.
years?
Season 5.
That started with 20?
I started in 20.
Wow.
Yep. So season 5 of The Butcher versus the Dance Instructor.
Now you've had different iterations.
We've had The Butcher
obviously.
versus the
spin instructor.
And then we just changed a word. Changed one word.
But it's the same franchise, if you will.
Same franchise. Greg now 1-3 in those seasons.
Big year for Greg, really.
Big year for Greg if he wants to just try to get to 40% victories.
I mean, look, Greg, got to get those numbers up, as Matthew McConaughey said in Wolf of Wall Street. Okay, like gotta bump that up a little bit.
Lost to Caroline, yeah. Lost to Campbell twice. Lost to Caroline once.
Got to get better than that. We might have to switch the Butcher to a different name next season.
Maybe so. So we got that. I don't even know what the orders on all this will be, but we'll have McCready and Siskey every Thursday. We'll go to 3 days a week starting next week. We'll have Pete's Pigskin Preview. That's coming. He and I are going to tape on Tuesday nights this year, which is awesome news for me. It means nothing to you. It'll still run on Thursday. We'll have the hand raise guys every Thursday night, and then when we finish with hand raise guys, we'll have the MPW Digital Extra each and every week. Look around the SEC. We'll talk about other national games. We'll preview Ole Miss's opponent, pretty detailed. I have all of that to you in podcast form Thursday night, Friday. So if you're driving to see the Rebels, whether it's in Oxford or Baton Rouge or Columbia or wherever the case may be, we will have a ton of programming for you to listen to.
The running's been fine so far because we hadn't had the long run. Ask me tomorrow. We'll go from there. I'm already starting to hydrate up a little bit.
You run 9 tomorrow?
10.
10?
Yeah.
Today would have been a good morning to do it.
You can't. My level of frustration when I got up this morning, went out on the porch and let the dogs out and went, damn it. Like, that would have been real nice with a crisp.
I ran 6 this morning at a decent pace. I wasn't flying by any stretch of the imagination, but I was moving. And I sweated, don't get me wrong, but I wasn't drenched.
No, you're good.
And I thought of you. I thought this would have been the day to run 10 miles.
I know.
Yeah.
It's I was reading here from
because it was
good.
It was quite pleasant.
Yeah, it was great.
Quite pleasant.
It was almost perfect.
Actually, the first mile or so was a little not chilly. That's not the right word.
That's not the right word.
But it was cool.
Yeah. I'm reading here, ESPN did a quarterback confidential where they have quotes from coordinators and coaches across the league about quarterbacks and all the major conferences that are at all relevant, even a little bit. A lot of SEC quarterbacks mentioned. But the one that I laughed about here was talking about Graham Mertz. And I guess it's actually giving him credit when you think about the situation of it, is the 2 quotes about him, one coming from 2 defensive coordinators who have faced him in the last season while he was with the Gators, so you can narrow it down to 12, I guess. The first quote is, he's a good processor, knows where he wants to go with the ball. You can tell he's coached up, doesn't throw a lot of interceptions. Okay, that was the nice version.
Okay.
The next quote, I don't think he throws the ball very well with accuracy, but he's better than he gets credit for. The quote was, I don't think he throws the ball very well with accuracy. But then finished up, he's really, really smart. So basically they're saying he does everything mental that you could possibly do to max out his ability. He just doesn't have the arm.
Yeah, it's why I push back when people go, he sucks. I'm like, no, he doesn't. He doesn't suck. He's fine. Not gonna light the world on fire. He doesn't have the ability to do it. But he doesn't suck.
He doesn't get them in trouble.
No, he's just an average quarterback in a league where I don't know that average quarterback play can get you many wins. Tyler Siskey wants to know, I don't know if you think you're aware of Tyler. He wants to know what is your chafing prevention plan? Have you dived into that?
So
because on the long runs, that is when the chafing issue can become an issue.
My favorite gel rub for that. A lot of people use Body Glide, which is the blue tube that you would get at the convenience store.
Big fan.
No, I use the Arm & Hammer Friction Control, I believe is what it's called.
Okay.
It's in a yellow, red, almost kind of like baking soda color. Well, exactly the baking soda colors, but it's a deodorant type spread on. Mostly just worried about the inner thighs and the groin. That's the only area I'm overly concerned with. I have 2 shirts that will get toward my chest area and my nipples a little bit. But for the most part, the good shirts won't do that to me, even on longer runs. So I'm only focused on the groin and the inner areas.
Oh, you don't put any on your chest?
Very rarely, no.
Really?
Even if I run for an hour and a half or 2 hours, I have no issues unless there are 2 shirts that I know will do it. But otherwise, I never have an issue there.
Oh,
no, I'm good.
I was always very preventative there with any run over.
And then there's another area that you have mentioned in the past that I do now just simply because I heard your story and I'm precautionary. I mean, I just went, you know what? I don't think it's needed, but we're going to make sure. We're just going to cover that base.
I had never planned for running a 26.2 miles where your shorts were soaking wet before you started. There was nothing in my preparation that I thought, okay, what if you're soaking wet when you start?
That's a good point.
Never prepared for that. Turned out to be a mistake not to have prepared for that.
Even in California, you haven't run one that's been crazy hot, have you?
The second Chicago was pretty muggy. But no, it wasn't crazy hot.
This sounds dumb, but nobody who's just sweating like crazy, does anyone ever change shirts somehow?
I'm sure people do.
Like, what do you do?
I don't know, but you've got the tag on.
I know, that's what I mean. Like, what happens if you're just completely and utterly uncomfortable and drenched?
That might be where you'll see some people put the tag on their short.
So they can avoid that?
Maybe so that if they want to take their shirt off, they can just run shirtless. Okay. But I don't know how you would change shirts because you'd have to.
Well, that's what I mean.
You'd have to pack the shirt.
Yeah, there's not a way, but I just thought, like, And I know it's not going to be 91% humidity in Philadelphia. And if it is, we're going to go have a beer and get a cheesesteak.
Don't be an idiot.
But I thought, I'm doing this, soaking like this at like mile 7. What happened at mile 20? I guess you just run through it and deal with it, even though it's hanging off your body. Like, I was like, this is miserable.
Yeah, I don't think in those conditions you'll be sweaty like that.
Yeah, right.
I remember running in Chicago and not being kind of blown away with, like, this is the first time I've ever run where I'm not sweating. With it being a thing in my mind, like, you're not in Minnesota. I wouldn't have sweat. It was cold, but I was wet from the rain.
Andre, I don't know if there's a worse. I know it's against all Southern culture, but for me, I don't know if there's a worse thing on earth than a mayonnaise and tomato sandwich. Because I don't eat tomatoes and I don't eat mayonnaise. Yes. I don't eat raw tomatoes. I love tomato sauce and tomato products.
Yeah,
some of my favorite things. But raw tomatoes, I'm out on. I was allergic to them as a kid, but I grew out of it. But because I didn't eat them as a kid, I just never really started.
Yeah, not my thing.
Jam says, take the shirt off. You're just drenched, and you're not cold.
The problem in a race is that you got to make sure that the shirt, because usually the tracker on the shirt is on the back of the tracker on the thing is on the back of the bib.
Yeah.
And so
no, you have to have the bib.
You can't wad up the bib and throw it away.
No, so you put it in shorts.
Yeah.
In that instance.
Yeah.
I think I actually wanted my shorts anyway. I think it bugs me more when it's on my chest.
Yeah, you get used to it, but yeah, I'd rather. Well, I wouldn't like the little things rubbing against my leg either.
One or the other.
I'd actually rather it rub against my chest.
Would you really?
Yeah, because you're more conscious of your legs when you're running.
Tyler bashing me over my tomato and mayonnaise take says that I'm basically communist at this point. I also like the 4-4 defense. We can be multiple out of the 4-4. We can turn that into something. I just don't. No, not my.
Yeah, I do like a good Duke sandwich while I'm playing with my pet cobra.
Wait, you have a pet snake now, for God's sake.
I wouldn't call it a pet. I would just say
he lives in your house and you don't bother him.
Lives at my house.
Not in your house.
In the house. In the house, we'd have a problem.
He can't come in.
I would prefer not.
It's like, where do you see him?
Oh, on the patio.
Actually, on the patio.
Mm-hmm.
Is he like sunbathing or whatever?
I don't ask what it is that you're doing. I just allow him to coexist. Or her. Why do we always assume
But
that
you see him that close up? I thought you just meant like down in the yard somewhere.
Oh, no, he's like up on the patio. See, I did it again.
I can't do it. No.
You'd flip out?
Oh. I don't care if he has a crown on showing me he's a king snake.
Oh, he's very clearly a king snake. Or a rat snake or something.
He's not venomous.
No.
Okay. I mean, sure.
I give him his space. I'm not out there going, hey, what's up, snaky snake?
You don't do the thing in that video that time where the guy's like playing with a snake and trying to hit him on the head, and then he gets bit, and it's like, yeah, look,
no,
you deserved every bit of that.
God, no.
Karma says you should have gotten bitten.
Yeah, no. I don't. No, I don't. I leave him completely alone.
That video is actually really funny because it's like there is a God, and you deserve to get exactly what just happened to you right there. He was like tormenting the snake.
Yeah,
and it's like
you deserve to be bit.
Hey, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, go ahead. What's up?
This is James Food Center from the board.
Oh, hey, what's up, man?
Oh, nothing. I'm on my way to the beach, and I've been listening to y'all's podcast recently, and I've noticed y'all been talking about chicken nuggets a lot.
Yeah.
Had a thought since Wendy's is a new sponsor. Thought y'all could do, and this may be something Chase is more interested in. He seems to kind of attract the nuggets more than you, Neal. But maybe you could do a chicken nugget taste testing, including Wendy's salty nugs before football season starts. Might get you a good content item since it's, y'all are kind of out of stuff right now because football hadn't started.
You were actually reading my mind. I don't know if I mentioned it to Neal this morning. I was going to stop on my way today and pick up a couple of flavors of them and bring them for us to try. and I've got some personal stuff going
Yeah.
on, so I wasn't able to do that. But no, that is 100% on the docket that I'm going to pick up some saucy nugs as
for next Thursday.
the good people at Wendy's
Okay.
have talked to us about, and we're going to try them, including the ghost pepper, which is an excellent one for you to do
Yeah.
there.
Well, that's good. Yeah, I'm glad you're thinking the same way I am.
I mean, I'm kind of
you can-
anti-nugget because I prefer the strip, and I think only kids eat nuggets, and you have no palate otherwise. But at the same time, hey,
Yeah.
I love me a chicken nugget. They are fantastic, and the saucy ones are even better. They are unbelievable. Well,
Okay, and you could compare them to like other chicken nuggets from like Chick-fil-A, Burger King.
oh, they're the
and,
best.
you're gonna
Insert
have
whatever
some-
Trumpism you would like.
I mean,
right here.
look, the Wendy's ones will be the best. We can have a battle.
I know.
a battle for
like
second.
Lane Kiffin with Coke. Yeah.
Yeah. As Lane wished he had done with Coke. Now I think.
You think so?
I
Yeah.
don't know.
We'll talk about it in a minute.
Yeah.
It's a great idea. No. I was all in when I saw the thing yesterday.
Okay, good. Well, yeah, I mean, next Thursday, Hand Raised Guys Live, I think you get a lot of viewers. I know I've got a little friend group that talks about how they would definitely watch. So
Okay, yeah, we're all in. We can do that.
Yeah. Because we'll have a much longer show next Thursday. We'll
It'll be a little more segmented,
Yeah.
if you will.
yeah. We'll have
you
some.
can dedicate about 10 minutes to chicken nugget.
Yeah. We'll have some games on. We'll have a little more fun. There's as you said, there's only so much previewing that one can do, and I feel like we have done all of that aforementioned previewing.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. So it's time to move to chicken nugget.
Yes,
Agreed.
100%.
Yes, 100%. If tonight,
All right, sounds good,
yeah,
guys.
thank you, appreciate you.
Thanks. The strip is better than the nugget because there's just more of it. It's thicker. Like it's.
Speaking of nuggets, you've had Wendy's nuggets dipped in sauce, but have you had them covered in sauce? Wendy's new saucy nugs take the crispy and spicy nugs you love and turn them up to 11. Choose between flavors like buffalo, honey barbecue, garlic parm, or if you're a real heat seeker, as Chase was mentioning, try spicy ghost pepper only on Wendy's signature spicy nugs. I dare you. That's 7 delicious ways to try the nugs you already love. Pick a flavor, grab some extra napkins, and prepare to nug like you've never nugged before. For a whole new way to nug, it's got to be Wendy's at participating U.S. Wendy's.
Okay. So the Lane Kiffin thing, going back to the Coke and the sugar and the whole deal. Brian Kelly gets in on it. Concept very funny. Brian struggles with execution of anything he does that
Yeah.
is not football.
Well, it tells you that there's been a memo sent out throughout the league.
We're going to be nice about Coke.
We're going to be real nice about Coke.
So
I mean, clearly.
he has a smart water, which is interesting because he has smart water. Lane has Dasani, I believe, on his lectern. Correct?
I think that's right. Yes.
It's Dasani.
Yes.
Brian comes in, he drinks the smart water, makes multiple comments about how a Coke product that is fantastic, that Coke gives you whatever you would like. They have an option for everyone.
I know a little bit more than I can really talk about on this, and you probably do too at this point. But when I saw it, I laughed.
Yeah.
I thought it was really funny because it told me that the whole league got a, hey, look.
Something no one expected to be a thing this week.
Like, they pay a whole lot of money. And what told me is that Brian Kelly, who probably, like every other football coach in America, is completely engrossed in his team right now, said, what the hell is this about?
Yeah.
And someone said, oh, you didn't hear about Kiffin? And he was
He's
like,
like,
no.
"No."
And someone showed it, and he was like, oh. And so he went and had some fun with it. I actually thought that was funny. If you're an Ole Miss fan and that ruffled you, this is going to be a really long season. I mean,
you're in the news, guys.
you guys are going to struggle with some of the stuff that's coming if that bothered you. It was now, if you didn't know the backstory, you're like, what the hell? But that was probably almost certainly a league.
So the two things,
a league mandated. Please be nice.
My two things here is to play into the joke, and Lane should have a Coke Zero on his lectern next week instead of a Coke.
I have suggested to Ole Miss. We were waiting for the kickers to come in the other day to line the podium with Coke products.
all the assortment
And
of products.
maybe have Lane have a sip of each one as he's answering individual questions. They're probably not going to get us to play along because we will start asking Coke questions at this point.
Which would be frowned upon, I think. You okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Because you should point out that Brian Kelly did not take a drink from the actual Coke. Which what Lane was commenting on.
Yeah. Well,
I'm agreeing with you. I'm just saying it wasn't like Brian Kelly opened up the Coke can and went, "Hey, I'm going to guzzle this bad boy." Just saying.
yeah, no, he didn't. I mean, and look, I think Coke's overreacting.
They're overreacting because they're not having a sense of humor. But at the same time, I do get the frustration.
Yeah. Lane could make it funny on Monday. I don't know that he will, but it would be funny if he did.
He could do one more thing and ease the thing.
I said put the big Coca-Cola polar bear on there and
like
sit him up on a chair and let him just make it funny because he would go viral because he's Kiffin.
It's true.
He's one of 2-3 coaches in the league.
They could go viral.
Yeah, if he had fun with if he had fun with himself and fun with the Coke thing on Furman Week. He could make it funny.
Do you think he thought Brian Kelly was funny?
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah. Come on. These are all millionaires in a millionaire club. Yeah. He's lost to Brian Kelly. He's beaten Brian Kelly. Come on. Yeah, he thought it was funny.
They don't have Anchorman type gang fights at SEC meetings.
Clearly not. No, I mean, so. I
he did say it's less congenial than the Pac-12 was.
Yeah, well, there's no question about that because there's more pressure. But no, I mean, come on, he's not. I'm sure there's things that Brian Kelly has done that's pissed him off. That probably was not it, and vice versa. I doubt if Brian was trying to be. I doubt if that was meant to be anything more than, hey, I'm gonna have a little fun here.
Brian wasn't trying to going back to pet a snake at this point. We weren't like he was not
no. He, like you said, it was a good idea. It was bad execution because he's.
If I win the game in Baton Rouge, I am bringing a Coke to the press conference.
Yes,
100%.
Yeah,
and taking sips.
Yeah, have fun with it.
Yeah,
in a good nature.
Cheers, guys.
In a good natured way. Cheers, fellas.
Yeah. Refreshing.
Or at least a Diet Coke.
Coke Zero is okay. It's fine. Diet Coke tastes a little more artificial to me than Coke Zero.
I don't know this for a fact, but I'm told that Kiffin drinks Diet Coke.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, you didn't ask that. You said Coke. So,
I said Coke. I had someone tell me that I egged him on, and I was like, no, I did not.
Not even a little bit.
Not even a little. Stop.
I think
it was fresh on my mind because I'd listened to that podcast about the oranges and sugar and stuff.
You see them on YouTube and stuff all the time, and at first I went, no way in the world I could figure it out. But I do think I would be one of the people that would fail from the blind taste test of all the different sodas. I don't think I could tell them apart if I didn't see their names.
Yeah, I could.
I mean, there's a few maybe, but
maybe.
Like I guarantee, like
I would know Dr. Pepper, for example.
Oh, I would too. Yeah, 100%. And I would know regular Coke because it's just so damn sweet.
Yeah,
but like Diet Pepsi versus something.
We at MPW Digital, we love a lot of Coca-Cola products. So there's a Coke product for everyone.
Holler at your boy.
Give us. If you guys suddenly have a lot of advertising dollars freed up, we're here.
Does Wendy's have Coke products? That's what their thing is. Is they? Most people are. There's not as many Pepsi. Taco Bell, I think, is Pepsi.
I think that's correct.
Yeah. Like a good Pepsi, too.
Do you?
It's sweet, too. But I actually think, I don't know. I don't know if I prefer regular Pepsi or regular Coke, honestly. I don't hate Pepsi, though. No, it's all right.
He should get a...
I like cherry Coke a lot. If I was really drinking something with sugar.
He should get a Coke Polo. That'd be funny. Coke visor. Sometimes he wears a visor in there on Mondays because he's just come off the practice field.
My mother drank Tab growing up.
Oh, I
remember having Tab in the
Tabs.
house.
I hated those things.
Did you really?
Yeah, they were terrible.
I don't know what they taste like. I have no clue.
Well,
they kind of.
And when you're young, you want the sweet, and they weren't sweet at all. They had this taste to them.
That's a good point too. When you're drinking a Coke, can is the worst way to do it because fountain is best and bottle is too.
Yeah,
you can tell the difference because the carbonation levels are different.
How old would Lane have been when the Mean Joe Green commercial came out?
What year was it?
It was in the 70s.
Really young. Lane was born in like 76-ish. And he 47, 49, something like that, 75.
Yeah, 75, I think is what sounds right.
Is that right?
Yeah, so he probably would have been too young to remember the Mean Joe Green commercial where he says, "Hey, kid." Did you ever see that one?
Yeah, I've seen the videos, yeah. He was born May 9th, 1975.
When was the Mean Joe Green commercial? Probably 78, 79. He probably doesn't remember that the way I do.
1979.
Yeah.
So he's 4.
So I was 9 years old. It was iconic to me.
It is a good commercial.
Like it made me want to go get a Coca-Cola.
Did it really?
Oh, yeah.
As a kid, do you think commercials impacted you?
Of course.
I mean, they impacted all of us because that's why they have commercials.
Yes, 1,000%. Breaking. Breaking news, everybody. Those TV commercials, turns out they have a purpose.
We're above the fold. We're never influenced by those things.
For everybody except the people from Amory, they had no impact on them. But everybody else, yeah, they work.
Oh, Mexican Coke is awesome. You're right. Mexican Coke's really good with that damn sugar. Yeah.
Grind with the super chat. Thank you so much. He says, I found where since 1972 during election years, Auburn has a total record of
20 and 24.
20 and 24. Okay, I couldn't read that. And an average record of 4-5 going into the election when a Democrat has won, and a total record of 47 and 14, average record of 7-2 when a Republican has won. Wow. Excluding the COVID year. I mean, so if you're an Auburn fan and you believe in that kind of stuff, you're pretty pro-Trump.
Need a win.
Hugh Freeze just donated to the Trump campaign quietly.
You think people in Alabama would take an Iron Bowl win over their presidential candidate winning?
Ooh, that's a good one. You can have one or the other,
but you don't get the other. It's not. I get to guess. It's 1 and 1 either way.
You get to pick.
You can pick the president, or you can pick a win over Alabama.
So your candidate can win, but if your candidate wins, your team's losing the Iron Bowl.
You're getting the hell beat out of it.
And vice versa.
Yes. I've given you a 47-14 win and a 47-14 loss. Or you can pick the politics that might change your life in the next 4 years in some way.
That would be a fun exercise. That's a good one. That's a good one. And in that state,
it's a legitimate question.
It's a legitimate question. It's in a lot of states it probably is.
Yeah.
Get to pick one or the other.
Because I'm not even giving you a title. I'm just giving you a win over Bama. I'm giving you a blowout win over Alabama. Blowout. Just beat the hell out of them.
So walked up to an Auburn fan and say, who are you for? And he goes, Trump. And you say, okay, well, you can't have Trump win, but if you'll sign this document that lets Harris win the election, Auburn is going to absolutely pummel Alabama this year.
Yeah.
Like in a way that.
Yeah. If you're for Trump, you get, Kamala's the president for the next 4 years.
But you get a blowout.
But you get a blowout win.
Now, if Auburn gets, if you want, or I'll hand you the Trump presidency, but Auburn's going to get absolutely curb stomped.
Yeah. Bama's going to be up 47-7, and you have a garbage touchdown to make it 47-14.
Whew. That'd be interesting. That'd be
because I think
interesting exercise.
Here's the thing. I think what I'm actually proving here that this is a thing is that anything more that I'm giving Auburn fans, they're just going to take it. If I said you get a title or the wrong president, they're taking the damn title, and we're not even having a conversation.
Oh, yeah. That's why just the game.
This is a good question because it's just the game.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
Because you don't get to know anything else.
Yeah, no. I'm not guaranteeing you a title. I'm not guaranteeing you the playoff.
Oh, hell, you might be 2-9 going into the game and just play the game of your life.
It's happened before in that damn series.
Sure. Not often, but sure.
Because I'm seeing in the stream, people go, no, if you can guarantee me a playoff berth, then tap it. That's not what I said.
Nope. See, you're already negotiating. No negotiations. That's the package.
Yeah.
Just take it or leave it. It's not an auction.
Will you scroll to all 3 major cable channels on November the whatever this year? Is that how you're going to do it again?
Yeah.
Just depending on how the results are going?
Yeah, I'll go someplace where there's 2 TVs, and I'll turn one to Fox News and one to CNN, and then I will have something that gets me to MSNBC just to watch.
Whenever you need that.
Because it's fascinating.
Yeah.
Literally, like I hear my wife says this all the time. I suspect this applies to a lot of people. She likes to people watch. I like to network watch. Because, dude, you can watch the coverage of, like, the conventions and stuff, and you're convinced if you just drop somebody in who had no idea and one night they watched Fox News and one night they watched CNN, they would be so confused.
Yeah, but I thought...
they would be so confused. They would... it would be baffling. And maybe it's like that in other countries, too. I don't know. But it would absolutely be baffling to someone to do it here. If you had no clue.
I mean, what's the first debate?
I think they've only agreed to one.
Oh, have they really?
Together, yeah. There's like disputing other debates. What would Mississippi State fans do? They'd take the blowout win over Ole Miss, wouldn't they?
Yeah, a higher percentage. Yeah,
yeah.
It would win if you were.
But if I went on that campus and did a presidential polling, Trump would win fairly handedly, correct?
I would think, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I would think so. I mean, on campus is always a little tricky, but yeah, in general, I think I would agree with what you're saying.
All right, I'm going to throw something at you if I can find it. Gabe sent this to me. Power Mizzou. Apparently,
real quick before you do this, Grind, just for you, Peyton Thorne, one of the quarterbacks mentioned in this QB Confidential thing on ESPN. Really bad quote here. It comes from an SEC coach. I don't know that they've actually got an answer. The only way you don't go to the portal is if you think, okay, I've got a freshman who's going to take over and be the guy. And I don't think they've got that either.
Who are we talking about?
Auburn. Peyton Thorne.
Well, I think they wanted to keep – I think Auburn's strategy, right or wrong, is they didn't want to spend all of their money on the portal this year because they were spending a lot of money on high school recruiting, and they have gone out and dominated the state of Alabama in high school recruiting. I mean, they are crushing Alabama right now in state recruiting. All right, here's a stat for you.
Yeah, good.
Gabe DeArmond did this, powermizzou.com. Because Mizzou, like Ole Miss, there's a lot of talk about Mizzou. Speak of the devil, Gabe's calling right now. You tell him I can't talk. A lot of talk about Missouri going 10-2, right? And their schedule would be kind of iffy at 10-2. So he said, went back and he found here are the teams that would have missed a 12-team playoff with the current format while winning 10 games in a major conference the last few years. Okay, starting in 2014.
Okay.
Wisconsin and Missouri had 10-win seasons and would not have made the playoff.
Was that a year that Missouri won the East or no? I guess not.
I don't know.
Because they would have gotten into that.
I don't know.
Okay, anyway, go ahead.
2015, 3 teams, Northwestern, Oklahoma State, and Florida, all won 10 games and wouldn't have made the playoff.
That 15 team Florida won 10 games. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
2016, West Virginia.
Okay.
2017, TCU.
Okay.
2018, Washington State.
Oh.
2019, Alabama, Oregon, Notre Dame, and Minnesota all won 10 games and would not have made the playoff, according to Gabe, his research.
Jesus.
Using this format.
Really?
2020, they threw it out because of COVID. I agree. Who cares? 2021, 5 teams. 5 teams, Chase. BYU, Oregon, Iowa, Oklahoma, and Wake Forest. All won 10 games. Would not have made the playoff. 2022, it was Washington. And then in 2023, it was Oklahoma and Iowa.
Wow.
So
That's a lot.
Now, the comforting thing, if
Very
you're an
few SEC
is
teams.
just 2. Florida in 2015, Alabama in 2019.
And Missouri in 13.
And Missouri in 14.
Yeah, whatever year.
Yeah. So 3. So the thing that people do, and Gabe's point, probably upset some Mizzou fans, was it can happen. This belief that if everyone goes to, if you win 10 games, you're in, is not necessarily true. If you win 10 games, you're in. It's not ironclad. It's probably going to be in 10 thoughts, by the way, so forgive the repetitiveness.
I'm looking at Alabama's season in 19 because now I'm curious. Well, that was the 48-45 Jordan-Hare loss. So that would have, in theory, knocked them out of the playoff by Auburn that night. They were 10-1 coming into the Iron Bowl against number 15 Auburn. And they lost 48-45 to go 10-2.
I mean, there's going to be some dicey moments for some of these teams.
They beat Michigan in a Citrus Bowl handedly.
Yeah.
But that showed you where Alabama was sitting because they were Citrus Bowl.
Yeah.
They weren't in an access.
Right.
So 10-2 did not get them into the whatever bowl.
Too many other teams had 11 wins.
Mm-hmm. 2019 final AP poll. And I guess that's not actually what I want. I want the December 8th poll. So in 2019, after the conference championships, LSU was undefeated. That was their super team.
Yeah.
Ohio State undefeated. Clemson undefeated. Oklahoma 12-1. Georgia, Florida 11-2, 10-2. Oregon 11-2, Baylor 11-2, Alabama 10-2. Auburn 9-3, Wisconsin 10-3, Utah 11-2, Penn State 10-2, Notre Dame 10-2, Memphis 12-1, Minnesota 10-2. Minnesota was 10-2 and ranked 16th in the country.
Yeah.
Now, the difficult exercise with all this is that you had Texas and Oklahoma playing Big 12 schedules. So
Right.
It gets everything.
Yeah,
just
it's
screwy.
not exactly apples to apples.
But it's relevant.
But there's a point there.
Yeah.
Which is all 10-2 teams won't be viewed the same. And in this case, Missouri's complaint would be basically to the SEC for not scheduling them better. Because, I mean, like, most of these teams aren't playing anybody non-con. If LSU goes 10-2, they're going to have this Michigan game on their schedule.
Mm-hmm.
USC, is it? Who's LSU play?
USC. Texas plays Michigan.
Texas play. LSU plays USC and UCLA.
Yes.
Texas plays Michigan. Georgia plays Clemson. When Ole Miss scheduled Wake Forest, they were better than what they are right now. Missouri's non-con is not a good schedule. They played their best non-con team is Boston College, and they're picked near the bottom of the ACC. It could get dicey, is my point, for a lot of teams. Not just a lot of teams. It could get...
Well, 10-2 for Oklahoma and 10-2 for Missouri are two completely different things.
Yeah, 10-2 for Oklahoma, and they're in.
Yeah.
10-2 for Missouri, and there's probably a lot of very nervous people watching the Big 12 championship game.
A lot of teeth gnashing.
Watching the ACC championship game. Praying Notre Dame gets beat. If I'm an SEC fan, I am cheering for Texas A&M in that opener against Notre Dame. As much as everybody loves to make fun of it, I said this the other day, but I'm right. You are an Aggie fan on opening night. If you are cheering for a team that you have national playoff aspiration hopes. You need Notre Dame to lose games.
I mean, I'm with Siski. If you start number 6 and go 10-2, you're in because you just started so damn high. You never fall anywhere.
Right.
Like, that's the comfort for Ole Miss here is you're not having to pass a bunch of people and then you fall back. And I mean, there is a way that poll dynamics do count a little bit. Humans still have an entry point.
Yeah. Grind says, would y'all rather have the G5 somehow get 2 teams in, which is possible if Boise and Liberty both go undefeated, or for the ACC and Big 12 to get 5 teams in totality? I'd be for the ACC and the Big 12. The fewer group of 5s, the better for me. Like, if you offered me 0 group of 5s, I'm in. I hate that part of it.
Is that still a thing in 5 years?
Depends on whether they win a game or 2. I don't think they will. I think they'll get smoked.
If they're 0-5,
I think so. I think people will throw it out because, I mean, imagine the TV. Okay, we talked about this. The TV backlash if you end up with Boise instead of Texas, Boise instead of LSU, Boise instead of Florida State, Boise instead of Michigan, Boise instead of Iowa. The TV people are going to like, why are we doing this? We could have had one of the big brands. Instead of getting Penn State, Texas, they get Penn State, Liberty.
And this is, like you said, it's different motivation. It's all these things. Are you potentially getting this Tulane thing where they knock off SC in an actual playoff game? Or we're going, no, they're more dedicated in, and it's just not happening.
I think it's going to be like last year where Oregon was decided to play that game, and they just absolutely mauled them.
Yeah, it was cute for like 8 minutes, and then
if that. That's not what you want. You want those on-campus games to be.
Yeah, if you go to 16, have one. I don't care at 16.
No, it's fine.
Because then you got 3 lost teams in. I'm like, okay.
Well, then there's the incentive to play for number 1 because you're going to get that team. And now you're having, 8 on-campus games? Which would be fine. You play 4 on one day, sure. 4 on the next. You'd have a college football extravaganza. Play 4 on Friday, 4 on Saturday.
Right.
And get out of the NFL's way on Sunday. Of course, the NFL's going to – what's the 21st of Saturday?
I don't know.
Because if you're playing on Saturday in December, the NFL's going to play games. That'd be interesting. A meaningless NFL regular season game against
Saturday.
Against a college football playoff game.
Yeah, Saturdays in December are 7, 14, 21, 28.
Okay.
So that is correct. Ole Miss plays the Queens on the 21st basketball. Is that what we decided?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
See that AP bracket they brought up today? I mean, telling you, Ole Miss would have just, the fans sign in blood, do everything to get that damn bracket today.
Oh, what? I didn't see it.
Yeah, the AP predicted their college football playoff today.
Oh, I didn't see it.
Had Ole Miss the 6th seed hosting Virginia Tech in the first round.
Okay.
And then had them in the quarters going to Atlanta to play Miami.
Oh, God.
Oh, you'd be like, hey.
Sign them up.
Yeah, we'll take it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Ole Miss fans are like slashing their. What was the rest of their bracket? Do you remember?
Georgia was waiting in the semis, but I don't know because you're the
I mean, at some point you got to play a big boy. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, you don't get to go all the way through unless there's an upset.
Yeah, but
unless Georgia gets beat in the quarters,
and they could, but it is. I mean, look, it's going. I mean, duh. If you don't get a first round bye, you've got to win 4 games to win the title.
Yeah,
tough, man.
It's going to be very difficult for 6 through 12 to win because at least the 5 gets that group of 5 team first. I mean, still hard, but
yeah, and then gets a decent draw in a quarter. But then you're getting 1 in the semi, and they would have only played 1 game.
Their bracket was Memphis at Oregon in the first round. Winner going to the Fiesta to play Kansas State.
Okay, so Oregon got a good draw.
Tennessee at Notre Dame.
Tennessee.
Not 9 seed at Notre Dame going to Ohio State.
Okay.
Ohio State has the 1 seed in this scenario.
And I'd sign up for either one of those games, Notre Dame or Notre Dame
or Tennessee against Ohio State.
Tennessee at Notre Dame in 4 days before Christmas. I would watch. Yes.
Tech, Ole Miss, Miami. And then the winner would play Georgia against the winner of Wisconsin. And we spoke with the Badgers this morning.
Yeah.
Wisconsin at Texas.
Okay.
So Bama's out in this bracket. Michigan's out in this bracket. LSU, Missouri, Oklahoma out in this bracket. 1, 2, 3, 4 SEC teams in this bracket, which has been how they have mostly set up these things.
Yeah.
Wisconsin, Oregon, Ohio State. It's only 3 from the Big Ten.
So no Penn State in that.
There's no.
They're not Drew Aller fans.
They're not Drew Aller fans. Ralph Russo with this bracket.
Yeah.
For the Associated Press.
Boy, Ole Miss is having a hard time with the disrespect thing, aren't they? They're having a hard. I mean, boy, you're having
that well's pretty dry. Having a hard
Yeah.
time to get the bucket up with any water in it at this point.
Walter Nolan got left off a preseason team. There you go.
That's pretty much it.
That's about it.
The coach today on the quarterback thing said Dart doesn't have an elite deep ball. I got that. Okay, like all right.
Meanwhile, the Senior Bowl watch list was like 7,000 Ole Miss players.
The most in the country.
Yeah.
Which is good and really bad. You have to replace all those guys.
Yeah. I noticed that Lane did not like that list.
It's not his.
He referred to it as it's just major rat poison.
Did he?
Yes.
I mean, you have 21 dudes who have draft aspirations to that level. That is an issue. I mean, what are we talking about?
The group of 5 was fine. The group of 5 is going to break away. They're going to have their own deal. And frankly, it will be popular. It will become a feeder system, which is what it needs to be. I'm trying to get to you. Hold on. He hung up. So if you call and it picks up, just give it a second. I've got to hit a couple of buttons. It's not an instantaneous thing.
I mean, I saw the Mariners fired Scott Service today, by the way.
Oh, really? He had a hell of a run there.
There a while. Yeah, he really was.
That's probably one of those deals where it's very disappointing at first, and then somewhere like Saturday or Sunday, he's going to wake up and go, "Phew."
The it's not my problem anymore.
Yeah, and just the grind of that job. Those are demanding from a time standpoint jobs. I mean, those are long days, day after day after day. Tyler wants to know about your carb loading before the.
I don't care about that much. I don't think it makes a ton of difference. I think people over carb load because they think, oh my God, I have to eat 4 pounds of pasta. Like,
yeah, stupid.
Just a little something. Like,
supposedly,
I'm much more concerned not to geek out about the in race carbs with the gels and stuff than I am the night before make sure I have chicken parmesan.
Supposedly, the Friday night meal is the most important meal for a Sunday.
2 days earlier.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, those are my issues right now. It's that, and then my other thing that doesn't necessarily matter, but I do have to make a decision is how long am I going to be there? Because there is a couple tourist things I'd like to see while I'm there. But again, I got to stay off my feet on Saturday. Like,
I mean, yes and no.
I'm not walking much on Saturday. Once I talk myself out of trying to get the 2nd and 3rd medal by running the 8K on Saturday,
so 8K is 3.
It's about 5 miles.
Okay.
That feels stupid. That's a lot.
Silly.
Day before, that doesn't feel smart.
Yeah, the program calls for a 2-mile run the day before.
Yeah.
Just a quick little stretch your legs.
Yeah, I told you can get like the Independence Medal or the Patriot Medal if you run Saturday and Sunday. for the combo. But no, I'm good.
Yeah, it's a lot.
And then you come back Sunday or Monday. I mean, sorry, you come back Monday or Tuesday from just do I want to get on a plane the next morning? Is kind of what I'm saying.
You're going to miss the big Monday Egg Bowl press conferences?
Well, my thought was I will do the Monday podcast at least from there, and then we'll go from there. I mean, look, here's the problem with that is that's like it's such a consequential season, and it's like, God, that's for the last game. Like, God knows what will be. The mood will be very
Well, that's coming off of what could be a pretty interesting week.
Mm-hmm. That's what I mean. Like that's a Monday podcast where I'm like, I'd love to see my notes for that day, just see what that entails for that afternoon.
Will you wear your medal on the show?
I mean, I can if you want. It's I think my medals are like out in the garage somewhere. I don't even really know where they all are.
I don't know where mine are.
Yeah,
no clue.
I did look up and see what they look like, and I couldn't find it. I can only find last year's. I was curious.
They change them every year.
Yeah, sometimes they're like really small, and I'm like, it's the damn marathon. I want a damn hubcap hanging from my chest.
Are you going to put 26.2 on the back of your car?
No, I'm not going to do that. No, I think we're good. We're good. Yeah, I will have to pull the 13.1 off, and then.
Yeah. Trying to get the medals like a 6-year-old team. There's a lot of people get pretty serious about the medals, though, man. You'll see that. They'll give you one of those. Aluminum blankets to go around you after you're.
Where you look like Superman or a superhero for a minute. Is that really important?
Some people they get cold pretty fast, and that'll keep you warm. It depends what the weather is. Depends. Like when I ran the first Chicago one, I had to walk forever to get back to my hotel, and by the time I got back to my hotel, I was cold. I remember that. Ginger's going to get you a 26.2 sticker.
T-shirt, sticker, hat.
I'll put 26.2 on the screen.
Change my avatar on the board, that kind of thing. Yeah, something like that. Well, I was talking to a buddy earlier today, and I was like, you know what? I'm just trying to get through this thing. Like it's whatever. I was like, really, I'm overachieving because I'm going to run like 2.5 times longer than the Kenyans. So I mean, really, they're the ones that stopped. I mean, I'm still trucking. Like my caloric burn probably higher than theirs because they're done much faster.
Probably so.
Yeah, quitters.
Yeah.
I mean, we're still going.
We
all pay the same money. I'm just going to see a little more of the course. I'm just gonna take my time getting through there.
That will be a sobering moment if they announce it like they do at some of the
winner.
Others. Yeah, where you kind of hear it everywhere, or it kind of starts to leak out that the people have finished, and you're at mile 12.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, geez.
I think it'll make you tired for a minute, where you're like, oh, okay.
Nah, actually, I remember laughing. That made me
actually
laugh.
Helped a little.
Yeah, that actually cracked me up.
And then I'm going to need several podcasts. I'm going to have to if I've got podcasts that I think, hey, I'm really excited about that, I'm just going to hold them. I'm going to have them waiting. Because I've already been doing that for long runs. Like I'll see one on Monday and go, no, not do, don't do that.
I think you'll be surprised when you actually run that you're not really. It's a totally different environment. Because there's lots. You'll do these long runs in solitude where you need that, and then on race day you actually won't need a lot of that.
And it's so much bigger than anything I've run. Like I've never been in
and there's just lots
major marathon.
There's lots of people.
Yeah, so you're
everywhere. Not just the people running, but people everywhere. Yeah, it's different.
Yeah. So it's whatever. I'm trying to not think ahead right now is the goal. Thinking about like week 16 where you have the 10-mile run on Tuesday and the 18-mile run on Friday.
One day at a time. See, one day at a time.
Yeah.
You should listen to all the coaches that you've talked about. One pitch at a time, one at-bat at a time, one run at a time. Gotta put the work in first. Can't get to week 11 without getting through week 1 through 10. Doesn't work like that. Got to get through camp before you get to the preseason. Got to get through the preseason before you get to the first game. Can't take Furman for granted. Got to turn around and get ready for Middle Tennessee. You can't be looking ahead to LSU the whole time. Same thing with running. Can't look ahead to the 20-mile run because you got other runs to do first.
Gee, I'm glad you're my support system. Really appreciate all the positive talk that I get throughout the days. 6 is a good idea because if you like movies, recommend the Now Playing podcast. Yeah, I find myself listening to a ton of pop culture podcasts for whatever reason. If there is anything related to a movie that I like, that's kind of been my go zone the last couple months for sure.
So we should get Roll Tide Willie on the show. He'd probably do it.
I can say no.
Yeah, I mean,
what the hell? I mean,
it'd be kind of humiliating if Roll Tide Willie said no, wouldn't it? I mean, it's one thing if Kathy Ireland says no. It's another thing if Roll Tide Willie says no. I'm not doing your little show. I've run 4, Corey, and that number is going to be the number I stick with. I think.
you don't think you can get another one? Is there something in your head that would like to make it 5?
Oh, I'd love to. Yeah, but I don't. I think Reeves would text me and say, "What in the hell are you doing?"
I saw him last Friday, and he was like, "Hey, how you hanging out? Whatever." And I was like, "Whatever." And he just looked in. It's like, "You've turned 40. You're tight. Like, I mean,
Yep.
get it in while you can get it in, because
Yep.
it's not going to get any better. It is what it is." I was like, "Okay, that's fine." He has run Chicago twice, Big Sur, and Duluth, the Grandma's Marathon in Minnesota.
Hey, who do we have?
This is Jeremy.
Hey, Jeremy, what's up, man?
So, one political thing, one football thing. We did the football thing first. I had a discussion with a few friends. We talked about all the black jerseys. First game, Furman, out of the 20 guys that are in black jerseys right now, how many you think play over a quarter? We predicted about half.
Yeah, it's probably right. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's all we can judge on is like who's actually moving around and who's not. Based on what I've heard, I'd kind of be a little surprised if Jerquan Scott plays. Caleb Warren wasn't out there. I don't really know what to expect out of Princely. He was doing, the last time I was out there, he was doing some drills that appeared to be more physical, but they've held him out of a lot of the physical stuff from what we've seen. And again, we haven't seen much. Only recently has Juice Wells been kind of running with the offense. I don't know what Watkins' situation is. He's been on a bike a lot. I haven't really seen him doing a lot. Devin Price from FAU doesn't appear to be very active right now. Everybody else appears to be kind of good to go. So it's a hard. I don't know. But my guess is that they're a lot healthier than they're saying necessarily. But I suspect there's a handful of guys they'll be pretty conservative with early.
And on the political side, what percentage would you say out of say 18 to just say 40 don't really realize the kind of impact this unrealized tax and capital gains tax would be? Because, I mean, I've even talked to several people around here that's, I mean, early 30s that don't truly grasp how much of an effect they can just have on everybody.
Oh, I think it's a major problem, not even politically, just in general with our country, with that generation, with media consumption. There's so many people. This isn't about right or left, Democrat or Republican. It's just kind of so many people that only get their news from social media, and a lot of that news is Instagram and TikTok. And I don't know how in the world they're even remotely informed with what's going on or how that might one day impact their lives. So, and then I think there's just that, it's kind of both parties have done it, but there's kind of that trick of going, well, this would only apply to X. And that never rings true.
Which is
it never rings true in our country's history. It never rings true. It always ends up impacting everyone.
I mean, you can take somebody like me that just, I'm not a big wealthy person, but I have a few rental houses, have a few things, and I mean, honestly, if it happened, I would probably just go ahead and sell and get out of it because how much it would hit me. I mean, it makes no freaking sense.
Oh, it would be if it applies to like residential homes, it would be devastating to the market. It's frankly something that needs to be really talked about a lot more, to where she's either going to have to, she needs to either explain it, or she needs to explain it. But we're and I've said this many times about all of it. We're not serious as a country right now with stuff like that. We're hung up on a lot of superficial things one way or the other. Everybody is. I mean, everybody is. Both sides sides are doing it.
I mean, even Trump and all, they're doing personal attacks. They're not talking about real problems.
100%.
Well, that's all I got going on, Dippers. Y'all have a good show, bro.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's been a good bit of just running and exercise talk. I mean, at some point, like I said, we'll probably spend a podcast on it, and I'll go through some of the stuff I use that I do recommend or don't recommend, even though I'm way novice compared to a lot of you guys. But I see people agreeing. The Shox Open Run are my headphones. I've had 3 pair of them. They're phenomenal. I can't recommend them any more than I do. They do the jawbone thing in your ears. You can hear everything around you. The battery life is great.
Really?
Oh yeah, they're awesome. They don't chafe the top of your ears where they hang over or anything. Like, I have 0 complaints.
Huh.
They're great. AirPods don't stay in my ears. I can't run with AirPods. They fall out of my ears.
Yeah, I run with them, and if it's super sweaty, they'll start to move a little bit, and then sometimes you feel like they're starting to kind of short out a little bit.
And the battery life on the Shox, I don't know exactly, but 10, 12 hours at least.
Oh.
I mean, yeah, I didn't decide on a shoe. I'm looking at some. I don't even know that I'll switch. I asked a thread on the board simply because the daily trainer that I have is very heavy. So if I can find something that provides the same support that I need for somebody who supinates really badly, then I might consider something else for race day. But I'm not exactly looking for like an Alpha Fly or something. I don't need a carbon plated shoe. I'm not trying to break any land speed records here. So, but I would like to get to a shoe that's a little less heavy. I mean, I'm wearing tanks.
You're wearing the
Beast.
Yeah, I can't run in those.
I mean, they're 12 ounces. Like, it's a shoe.
It feels like you're doing a calf workout.
Yes. No, the Shox are not noise canceling at all. Their whole point with running with them is you can hear if there's a dog or a car coming at you. They sit on your cheekbones and you hear through your sinuses.
Oh.
And you hear fine. So yeah, no, you're golden, but they are not noise canceling. You would not use them for meetings or anything other than running. I've said this. I use 5 different kinds of headphones throughout the day, depending on what I'm doing. I mean, I have headphones and chargers everywhere. I talk on the phone with AirPods. I've got the Shox for that. I have a pair of like cover the ears headphones that I wear in the winter because they keep my ears a little warmer and kind of help in cold weather. I need a lot of support. I don't want to risk a shoe that doesn't have a ton of support for carbon when I don't. Why am I paying $300 for a shoe that might hurt my feet? And
yeah,
I'm not going to break 4 hours in the marathon. So like, what?
Yeah.
What am I doing? It doesn't.
No, and my suggestion would be to find a lighter Brooks shoe.
Yeah, the Beast is heavy. Like, over time, I'm not even sure it's not causing some of my problems because I'm running so many miles in Beast. It's so heavy.
I don't know how you do it. I don't even like to go for a walk in those things.
I mean, maybe I'm crazy. I'm not sure it's not affecting my time by 30 seconds a mile because I'm lugging the damn things around.
Well, you're running with weights.
So, I might change shoes and go, wow, that was incredible.
Yeah,
that was incredible. I mean, they're really heavy.
They're crazy heavy.
Yeah.
And they're good shoes, but I don't think
they do exactly what they do. You're not supinating or pronating.
Yeah.
Where you hit, you're hit.
But I mean, I don't think they're made for that. I don't think when they make those, they're like, hey, these are going to be good marathon shoes.
They're probably starter shoes for somebody who needs to lose a lot of weight.
Yeah. And needs something to support.
Yeah. And you're probably supposed to graduate out of them into the glycerin or something as you go.
I think so.
Which I probably should do.
I mean, somebody who's starting out, not making fun of anybody.
Yeah, no. Look,
No.
hey, I got them for a reason. I mean, they have served their purpose.
Someone who's, hey, I need to lose 70 pounds, 80 pounds.
We need to run.
And we're going to only going to be realistically running half a mile at first. Perfect for that. Because you're not going to get hurt in them. Mm-hmm. You're not going to roll foot, ankle, and all that. Yeah. But
I'm probably at a higher level.
I don't think they're designed for your 10-mile run, honestly. I really don't.
I know. I've been thinking about it. I'm like, I don't know. I'm so scared of changing a shoe and then having a messed up shin or something for the 4 weeks right now.
I understand.
It makes me want to stay with Brooks, just move down a level and not change.
That's what I suggested.
Not change name brand.
Yeah, don't do a Saucony or any of that right now. Just stick in the family. You're not going to go wrong with the Brooks running shoe.
No, they're
really solid.
Yeah.
What you frankly should do is buy 2 pair and rotate. And
I do. I just have 2 pairs of Beast.
Well, I'd get like a Glycerin and then whatever the other one is, and
run the 3-miler and the Beast and
just experiment a little. You're not going to get hurt using those.
If you run one more, what do you want to run?
Something flat. The one that kind of interests me is the one up in Montana.
Oh.
That would be fun. I would want to run one where it was cool.
New Orleans is flat.
Yeah, it's just the risk.
You could wake up on February the 8th and it'd be 87% humidity.
And that's where you would just have to be disciplined and go, I'm not doing it. Check out. And I don't know that I'm that kind of disciplined. I'm kind of, as you know, pretty competitive. And I'm afraid I would go, no, I'm going to go do this. And then it's stupid. It's all kind of stupid. I mean, I could run Chicago again. It's a great route. The race is fun. There's lots of people. It's really organized. You can kind of crowd watch. You can sort of get lost in watching people. And the only part about Chicago that I didn't like was it was so much traffic.
People.
Yes.
Because it's so busy.
I mean, I didn't break away and kind of get in my
That was another, I've said on the podcast, I won't repeat the whole story, but that was the other negative to New York. It's literally 60,000 runners.
Yeah, and so you're just bumper to bumper for the first 10, 15 miles.
Yeah. You really never break away.
No, you're just, and people are around you and people are trying to go around you and you never get into your rhythm, really.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's good. Also, it stops you from getting out too fast. You literally can't.
Yeah, you don't have where to go.
Because if you do it right, you're breaking with people that run your pace. And so you're kind of just, you're in that number for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And then people start to speed up or fall off and it gets a little less crowded. And then you
cramp, pass out, the whole deal.
Yeah, die. I mean, you know.
I did see the New York Marathon last year. It was like 55 or 60,000 runners and only 650 didn't finish.
Yeah.
That's a good number. That percentage makes you feel better. You go, oh,
I mean, for the most part, everybody that's there trained.
Yeah, not many people go, you know what?
Yeah, I mean,
we're going to run the New York City Marathon tomorrow.
There's a few jackasses that do it, but not many. And they don't last long. They're gone by.
Well, you had that guy in Oxford you said was going to be worried about the second half of the 10K. Yeah. You saw him fly by you, and I'll see you in a minute.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah. See you in a minute, bud.
I don't know. Anyway, we'll see. 10-miler tomorrow. We'll see how it goes.
You doing early?
I haven't decided what I'm doing yet, honestly.
Yeah.
I don't know. The weather is fine if I want to try it. The only reason I'm contemplating early in the morning, it's really not even being difficult this time. It's that there's a couple different hydration methods I've seen on YouTube that are strictly for early morning runners that I kind of want to try just to see if they work.
Yeah.
And I'd much rather do it on 10 than 18. So let's go ahead and get it out of the way and let it be what it is. So we'll see.
All right, last call. This will make this the last one. Oh, hold on, caller. 1 second. We're gonna get to you. I hit the right button. Hey, what's going on, caller? Who's this?
It's Andy in Sugarland.
Hey, how are you?
Doing well. So, you know, you guys have like wives and daughters and Netflix most likely. So I know it was on CMT beforehand, but have y'all ever watched this Dallas Cowboys cheerleading show?
My daughters are obsessed with it, and I think Laura, my wife, has watched it some. I have not.
All right, y'all, all you need to do is watch 15 minutes of the first episode. Like, Siski should get in on this too. When the football season's over, like, analyze this. So, like, first hot take, when Jerry Jones kicks the bucket, like, I think Charlotte Jones is going to get the Cowboys. Like, she is ruthless. It is the craziest thing I've ever seen. Like, these women, they literally suffer, like, the craziest indecencies, injuries.
Yes.
They go insane. They all, like, have eating disorders.
Yes.
And they are devoutly into this team, like, this cheerleading team. Like, they're like the Iraqi Republican Guard. Like, they need to put these cheerleader coaches in charge of the front office of the Cowboys, and they're going to start winning trophies. Like,
so this is
insane.
This is your first entree into the world of dance?
No, one of my sisters did it, but I've never, like, seen behind the curtains, and it's brutal. It's almost borderline disgusting.
There's a lot. There's a lot. When Caroline tried out, when she didn't make it at first, she was devastated for a while. And then some of the people that I won't name schools, it was multiple schools who had been on dance teams, told her that it was probably a blessing and explained why. It's super competitive. You have to be awfully talented to make like a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader squad. And then, yes, all the weigh-ins and the pressure and all of that is intense. I don't even know that I want to watch that show because I think it would be sort of triggering a little bit. But yeah, I mean, it was it was a big part of it was a big part of Caroline's college choice thought process. I mean, it was a big, because she loved it. I mean, she was probably one of those borderline good enough to almost make it kind of prospects, if you will. And one of her really good friends from here in Oxford was a Rebelette, a year older than Caroline, was a Chargerette with Caroline, and then was a Rebelette and is now a Tennessee Titans cheerleader. And so I think Caroline has sort of gotten to see just how much went into making that team, and it's brutally difficult.
No doubt. It's insane, but those are my two hot takes. I just wanted to get that off the plate since football's starting, and we're not going to talk about stuff anymore.
Yeah.
Other than football.
No,
well, you all are sure.
We still will. We still talk about lots of stuff other than the football. Typically on this very show on Thursday night, because we've done so much football by then that it's sort of time.
But they need to give Charlotte Jones keys right now. Cowboys win some Super Bowls, but that's all I got. Y'all have a good night.
All right, man. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right, we'll wrap it up there. Wraps up another week of podcast here at MPW Digital. Have a huge week coming next week, starting with the Monday morning Blue Sky Live, and then all of our podcasts. All of next week, we'll have a lot getting to you as we get ready for Ole Miss and Furman in the season opener. Again, thanks to our friends at Comer and Southern. If you live in the Oxford, Batesville, Tupelo area, contact the people at Comer Heating and Air. If you live in Hernando, South Haven, Memphis, that area, call the people at Southern. Great people, great products, great services. They'll take super good care of you. Another heat wave, is coming in September because we always get one. If your AC's acting funny, get them to come out, check it out, get ahead of it. And we will talk to you guys again on Monday. Have a wonderful weekend. Take care.